Almost 30. I stare at my reflection in the bathroom mirror, running a hand through my hair, slightly disheveled from the night before. The harsh fluorescent light reveals every wrinkle, every imperfection I try to hide. But the real cracks run deeper than the skin. There's a knock on the door, pulling me from my thoughts. "Lena, are you coming? We're waiting for you." It's my friend Eva, her voice bright with excitement, the kind of excitement that should be contagious but feels alien to me. It's her child's baptism day, the 5th child I've been asked to be godmother for. 5 children, all with the same hope placed in me by their parents. "You'll be an adult friend, someone they can talk to, not just another authority figure." If only they knew. I've got my own demons, and they're not the kind I can cast out with holy water. I splash some water on my face and sigh deeply before exiting the bathroom. Eva is standing by the door, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Are you ready? Little Daniel is waiting for his godmother," she says, smiling warmly. I nod, trying to hide the doubt gnawing at the back of my mind. The church looms before me as we approach, an ancient structure with tall, foreboding spires that pierce the gray sky. The air smells of incense and candles, but something darker lingers beneath the scent, something I can't quite place. As the priest begins the ceremony, I glance around at the other attendees, mostly parents with their children, all neatly dressed, heads bowed in prayer. I wonder if they ever feel the same doubts I do. Probably not. They seem to glide through life, knowing exactly who they are and where they belong. But for me, every godchild I've taken on feels like another chain added to my life. The weight of their innocent faces, the trust of their parents. People like Eva who believe that despite my flaws, I'm the right choice. Why? I ask myself again. Because Eva had said when I asked her why she wanted me to be Daniel's godmother, "You're not like everyone else. You'll be the one they can talk to. You're not perfect, and that's exactly why I trust you. They need someone like you." But what if I'm not the right person? What if I'm a mistake? As I hold the baby in my arms, the cold water of baptism drips down his forehead. A part of me wishes it could wash away my own guilt, my inadequacies, my failures. After the baptism, the church hall fills with laughter, congratulatory pats on the back, and the sound of clinking glasses as everyone celebrates. I stand in the corner, nursing a drink, which is probably my 3rd or 4th of the evening. The alcohol helps dull the edge of my thoughts, but not by much. Eva joins me, holding her baby close to her chest. "You did great," she says, placing a hand on my arm. "You're a natural." I force a smile. "Yeah, natural." But inside, I feel anything but. My mind flashes back to all the nights spent with a bottle in hand, trying to drown out the noise of my own shortcomings. And now, I'm supposed to be a role model for these children? A guiding light. Just then, Sasha, another friend whose child I'm godmother to, walks over. Her son Max is 4 now, a bundle of energy who never seems to stop moving. Sasha smiles at me, but there's a shadow behind her eyes. A shadow I hadn't noticed before. "We've been having some issues with Max," she says quietly, glancing around to make sure no one's listening. "He's been talking to someone who's not there." My stomach tightens. "What do you mean?" "He says it's his other godmother," Sasha replies, her voice trembling slightly. "But he only has one." My heart skips a beat. The air in the room seems to grow colder. "Have you seen anyone?" I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. Sasha shakes her head. "No, but last week, Max woke up screaming. He said the woman was standing at the foot of his bed. When I asked him what she looked like, he just kept saying, 'She's the same as Lena, but not Lena.' A chill runs down my spine. I don't believe in ghosts or spirits, or any of that supernatural nonsense. But the look in Sasha's eyes tells me she's not making this up. I leave the party early, my head spinning not just from the alcohol, but from Sasha's words. Max has always been a sensitive kid, imaginative, yes, but never one to make up such elaborate stories. Could this be a trick of his young mind? Or is something darker at play? The thought gnaws at me as I return to my apartment. I sink into the couch, the quiet of the evening settling in around me. But there's something off, something about the way the shadows in my apartment cling to the corners. Something about the silence that feels too loud. I open another bottle of wine and pour myself a glass, trying to shake the feeling of unease creeping over me. Then the lights flicker. My breath catches in my throat as the room plunges into darkness. I fumble for my phone, its cold light casting eerie shadows on the walls. But then I hear it, a faint whisper, barely audible, but unmistakable. "Lena." The wine glass slips from my hand, shattering on the floor. I freeze, my heart racing. I don't believe in ghosts. I remind myself. But that voice, it was mine, like an echo, distorted and twisted. I'm alone in the apartment, but suddenly it feels like someone or something is watching me. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and I whirl around, but there's nothing there. Just shadows. The days that follow are plagued by unease. The shadows in my apartment seem to move on their own, flickering in the corner of my vision, but always gone when I turn to look. And that voice, that faint whisper, it comes again. Always at night. Always when I'm alone. I don't tell anyone. How could I? No one would believe me. And besides, I don't even believe myself. One night, after another restless evening spent drowning my fear in alcohol, I receive a call. It's Sasha. "Max is worse," she says, her voice trembling. "He keeps talking about the other godmother. He says she's coming for him." I feel a pit form in my stomach. "What do you mean?" "He says she's angry, that she doesn't like that I'm keeping him away from her. Lena, I don't know what to do." For a long moment, I don't say anything. Then the whisper comes again, louder this time, as if someone is standing right behind me. "Lena, it's time." I turn, but there's no one there. Just the shadows, stretching longer than they should. "I'll come over," I say, my voice shaking. "I'll be there as soon as I can." I arrive at Sasha's house late that night, the air thick with tension. Max is already asleep, but the weight of the unease lingers in the house like a storm about to break. Sasha leads me to his room, her face pale and drawn. "He's been having nightmares," she whispers. "I don't know what to do." I step inside the room, my heart pounding. The air is cold, colder than it should be. Max is curled up in his bed, clutching his blanket tightly. His face is peaceful, but I can sense something lingering just beneath the surface. I sit down next to him, my hand trembling as I brush a strand of hair from his forehead. And then I feel it, a presence, cold, dark, and ancient. It presses down on me, suffocating, and I realize with a sickening certainty that this isn't just a child's imagination. It's real, and it's coming for me. I don't sleep that night. I stay up, sitting in the darkness of Max's room, listening to the faint sound of his breathing, waiting for something, anything, to happen. And then, just before dawn, I see her. She's standing at the foot of Max's bed, her figure shrouded in shadow, but I can make out the faint outline of a woman. She looks like me, exactly like me, but there's something wrong. Her face is twisted, her eyes hollow and empty. I can't move. My body is frozen in place as she steps closer, her voice a faint whisper that chills me to the bone. "Lena!" The world spins around me, and I realize, in that moment, that she's not just a ghost. She's something darker, something that's been waiting for me, for all of us, for a long, long time. And now, she's here to take what she's owed. In the days that follow, I try to piece together the mystery of this other godmother. I dig through old family records, searching for anything that might explain the strange events surrounding me and my godchildren. What I find is worse than I could have ever imagined. There's a history buried deep in the village archives, a story of a woman, an ancestor of mine, who was once chosen to be the godmother of several children in the village. She was revered, loved by everyone, But beneath her kind exterior, she harbored a dark secret. She made a pact, a bargain, with something ancient, something dark. In exchange for her protection and guidance, the children she baptized would be bound to her. Not just in life, but in death. She was their godmother, yes, but she was also their keeper, their jailer. And now, centuries later, that dark pact is coming back to haunt me. The realization hits me like a wave. This isn't just about me. It's about all the children I've taken on as godmother. They're all at risk, bound to this dark presence that has followed my family for generations. I need to break the cycle. I need to free them. But how? With the help of Sasha and a few others, I begin to unravel the ritual that bound my ancestor to this dark entity. It's dangerous, and I don't know if I have the strength to do it, but I have no choice. The final confrontation comes in the dead of night. The air is thick with tension, the weight of centuries of darkness pressing down on us as we perform the ritual to sever the bond. The shadows writhe around us, the whispering growing louder, more insistent. But I hold on. I hold on because I know that if I fail, the consequences will be far worse than anything I can imagine. As the ritual reaches its climax, the dark presence, the other godmother, appears once more. Her face is twisted in fury, her hollow eyes burning with rage. "You can't stop this," she hisses, her voice like ice. "But I can. I have to." With one final push, the bond is severed. The shadows scream, twisting and writhing before finally dissipating into the air, leaving nothing but silence in their wake. It's over. The children are safe. The darkness is gone. For now.